This NFC South edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by our Patreon. Score exclusive perks, content, and contests, including our NFL win totals contest with a $1,000 prize. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is offering you a chance to win $15 million in prizes with Best Ball Mania 4. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. We're also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code SGP. New customers for $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP.
This is Jerry Glanville, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Oh, we're in the South. We're talking football. We're talking national football. I mean, I heard a lot of people say things like, "I'm out-taked. I'm ready to be done with the preseason."
Really? Who said that?
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus.
Right. I mean, again, it was if you tuned into our VSiN show, it was just an awesome heater at the Circuit Sportsbook on some preseason NFL action. Hit both my locks, and then since it was Friday night, I went 3-0 on the picks, but including I had a plus 325 Chargers money line, and then I parlayed all three with that Chargers money line in there. It was electric. Like, I felt like football's back. I was ready to go. It was just it was awesome, and had a great time at Circuit Sportsbook.
Well, hold on. Do you want to finish the story when you were bragging to Derek how you took some money from the old book?
I did. I go, "Oh, Derek, I'm on fire. Look at this. You guys gave me plus 325 on the Chargers preseason." You could tell he was a little pissed. He goes, "All right, we got a bad number." He was like, "I'm going to get you next time." It was dude, it was a really fun weekend out there. Shout out to a bunch of people, a bunch of listeners came up, or I was walking around with the SGP hat all weekend, and a bunch of people stopped me, said, "Hey, what's up? Listen to the podcast. Let it ride." A lot of DGens only talk. Sean second the money green. Shout out to Rob, a listener. I'm wearing. He printed out these YouTube.com.
That's me.
Sports Gambling Podcast printed out these corporate gambling, the war on corporate gambling shirts. Instead of Uncle Sam, it's Jalen Hurts' face there. It's beautiful. Thank you, Rob. The shirt was amazing. I'm rocking it now. Lot to get to. We will be previewing the NFC South, but yeah, I mean, any big takeaways from the ultimate sign up weekend, Ryan? It was, I mean, a lot of fun, a lot of drinks.
Yeah, look, there was some drinking. There was doing, we obviously did a new show, did a 3-hour show, a lot of Vegas. I was worried Vegas voice, I think for the typical show will be going out for a day. This was a long lead up, getting concerned about week one.
Well, we came out Thursday. The show was Friday night.
Yeah. That was a long lead up.
Well, yeah, and
we went pretty hard.
We will be back on VSiN in 2 weeks for the NFL kickoff, aka Week 1.
I'm so close.
And the countdown is on. I even got a couple tickets left to get the bankroll going over at Circa. Also, Ryan, we saw possibly one of the drunkest human beings of all time at the airport of all places. It was.
Well, let me start because you like somehow you completely obliviously you weren't seeing what I was doing at the airport because we were walking up behind this guy
Yeah.
And you were zoned out, and you were just like, I'm cutting right through this lane here.
No, I saw him out of the corner of my eye walking through the.
Yeah. So you avoided him.
Yeah, because I was like, I assumed I just saw him out of the corner of my eye. So he's like wobbling all over the place and like walking through like a maze of those,
struggling with the maze.
But like clearly you don't have to like walk through. You could just walk around it. There was no one there waiting in line, and I saw him. I assumed he was on his phone because he was just all over the place walking.
Yeah. Not on his phone. So he gets up to the TSA checkpoint, and God bless this TSA agent, but he was very patient with the man as he's trying to get. So he has one of those phones with like the ID case, and it's tightly strapped to the phone, and he's not able to get it out, and he's just sitting there. I would imagine in his state it must have felt like a long, long time. But then you could tell he started panicked, and he dropped the phone, and it was like, oh no. So then he's gonna bend over, and his pants are like falling down. So at this point, he finally gets the ID out, hands it to the TSA guy. The TSA scans it. At this point, I'm like, oh no, he's gonna ruin this guy's day. He's gonna like call the cops. Nope. He says, you know what, sir, you're good to go. The guy turns around to go back out the exit, and he's like, sir, you're gonna want to go that way. So at this point, he's very fortunate. Any other airport but Vegas, this person's being detained.
Let you on. You're
being detained.
Well, because they want you out of Vegas. If you're that drunk, you're some other city's problem. Get
the fuck out of here.
And Ryan was like, "Do you see how hammered that guy was?" I was like, "Oh my, I didn't realize that's what was going on."
It gets better.
Yeah,
because then he's got to get through security, and he gets up to the security thing.
He's like grabbing
Dude,
stuff.
No, you missed this. He puts his bag on the conveyor belt like he's never seen a conveyor belt before. Goes, oh no, and tries to reach into the X-ray machine. And so the TSA guy's like, sir, everything's okay. And he's like, but I forgot to put my wallet in there. And he's like, just put it in that bin, sir. He's like, all right. But then he gets through. Not much else to see. He kind of fell over at one point.
Well, him trying to put his belt back on was like, it was a good almost 2 minutes. It was very enjoyable. He was like trying to run it through, and then we ran into him at Starbucks later. He was on the phone. It was
he took a left, we took a right. So I was like, oh, we'll never see that guy again.
So there's basically two concourses. There's A, B, and CD.
They're nowhere near
we're
each other.
CD, and then we come back. And then we go see where our gate is, go grab a coffee. The guy's at the coffee shop, and then we go to our gate, and he's on the flight. Like, he was on the wrong terminal. He must have walked all over that Vegas airport. It was,
and the whole time he was like doing that, tilt. Like, so all right, so the Starbucks was kind of on a slope, one of those like extended kind of ramps.
Yeah,
and he took the turn to go down, and just that little bit of decline, he starts doing that thing where he's losing.
He was looking like a guy who was just discovering how to walk for the first time. It was
shit.
It was amazing.
But, yeah, fortunate he was leaving Vegas, because anywhere else and right in the hopper.
One final thing to get to before Vegas. Then we do have a DAC clip we have to play, and then of course the NFC South preview. But little serious thing here. They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and unfortunately, my actions have followed me back here to the studio, and I want to apologize. On the night of August 25th. I was enjoying 3-2 blackjack at Circuit Casino.
It's a beautiful.
I was dealt a blackjack. The dealer was showing an ace, and like a true coward, I took even money. I was cold at that time. I thought it would help the mojo. The guy next to me from Topeka was playing all wrong.
He did take insurance earlier.
Yeah, I thought by taking the even money, it would help turn the tide. But again, I got scared. It takes a big man to admit when he's wrong, and I was wrong.
I thought you were gonna play the Benedict music. It was more appropriate. You should have seen Josh. He was
Josh. I really let down Josh.
Similar to maybe like him catching his dad cheating on his mom, maybe like on that level.
Dad, what's going on?
No.
Producer Josh was extremely disappointed.
It's real to me.
Also, one of the shows we taped live, it was just beautiful the way it worked out there at Circus Sports.
Oh, do we have that clip ready? Maybe.
If Josh is able to pull it up, I feel like we got to go back to
no. I can do this. Yeah, Josh, we have that video. Just play that shit.
Trey Lance being traded from the San Francisco 49ers to the Dallas Cowboys. It happened live on our podcast, and it was a great moment.
News that Trey Lance going to Dallas.
Play that again. I think we kind of had some fucked up audio there.
Thank you.
I give you guys some breaking news that my producer. Yeah, Trey Lance is going to Dallas.
Yes, thank you, America. Thank you.
I give you guys.
YouTube.com/sportsgaming podcast. Yeah, because it's really the visual of us reacting and just throwing up our arms.
Yeah,
thank you to everyone who sent me the trade.
Yeah, I guess the timing was perfect. And shout out to the Cowboys.
And speaking of perfect timing, shout out to Beezer Picks in the YouTube chat. He was one of the 2 winners, Ryan, of our Patreon Pick'em contest. Last week we did college football week 0. Somehow we had a tie, so they are both going to get the cornhole boards. I don't know.
All right, first Moon off. Now we got to have some sort of tiebreaker committee at this company.
No, right. This was the tiebreaker. I said the number of total points scored in college football without going over. They both got 531 exactly, which was the closest entries without going over. How do they both guess 531?
Did they just add the totals?
No, I don't know what their process
They're not
was.
that smart.
No, I mean,
maybe they just like odd numbers. 531. Boom.
Beezer, you're in the YouTube chat. How did you guys both get
All right,
no more ties?
Well, you need 2 tiebreakers next time.
Yes, we will be adding a bonus tiebreaker.
For the tiebreaker.
We're going to give out maybe some cash, maybe some prizes. You don't know. sportsgamingpodcast.com/Patreon. Week 1 college football picks will be the next contest, and of course, get in on the win totals contest as well.
I have a suggestion for the tiebreaker. SGP trivia.
Okay, I like
the
that.
second tiebreaker.
Yes, we will email you a trivia question. All right, because then we can totally rig it so that only one person wins, and we stop having to pay both people.
Yeah, no more ties.
No more ties. All right,
ties are all. I mean, it is interesting how a discussion about ties ties in so nicely with your bullshit surrender move. Man, I was busted. Sean knew he fucked up too, because the rest of the night I was busting my balls.
I panicked.
It was just like, what the
I
fuck?
panicked. I'd been drinking again. You know what happens in Vegas. I thought stayed in Vegas, but
I feel like you're
a classic PR move. I knew I had to get out ahead of it.
You're like
I knew
Trump.
Ryan would forget about it until later in the show.
You're getting ahead of it, but you're forgetting the part where I pleaded for you to not do it in the moment.
I panicked.
And
I needed those chips.
Like a scared dog, your just shit was coming right out of your asshole onto the carpet.
Beat down my leg a little bit there. Speaking of scared dog, Dakota Rain Prescott. Well, first off, Jerry Jones went out of his way.
Real quick, it's Rain Dakota Prescott, Sean. Please.
Okay. Rain Dakota Prescott. We have a clip here of him reacting to the Trey Lance trade news. It's amazing.
I can't say that I necessarily expected it. No. I understand that that's business. I understand that they're probably on a timeline. They need to get something done. And as I said, he felt like that strengthened his team. To be honest with you, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. You've been in this league 8 years, been on this team. It's hard to say that I was surprised, to be honest with you. I mean, I can't say that I necessarily expected it. No.
Yeah, it sounds like trouble in paradise for old Rain there. And there was another quote of Jerry Jones where he went out of his way to say, no, he did not talk to Mike McCarthy or Dak Prescott before the Trey Lance trade. Why would you not talk to your head coach about bringing in a quarterback?
Sean, you never bought something on the internet without talking to your wife first?
Yeah, it's true. He really, he's like I'm in charge. I'm not running anything by anyone.
Kind of reminded me of my late night bets that I placed in the late spring. I was like, oh, this is a great value right here. Except for he owns a team and he traded a 4th round pick for Trey Lance just to completely destroy his season this year. How does he not see this? This is beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. It's already causing issues. Love it. Right. Love it. Ryan, you know what else I love? DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook. It's back, baby. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on college football and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Oh man, again, change comes fast. The only thing that's a lock is the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. I mean, it was a pretty solid college football week for myself. Hit that sweet Notre Dame, Jacksonville State, FIU on the money line, almost pulled it off. They fell apart late. It was a lot of fun getting down on some college football week 0. I know we have a ton of college football picks ready to go. We got our final 4 predictions for college football, and then a 2-part episode for week 1 picks, because there are so many amazing games. Life's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on college football, only on the DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP. The crown is yours, Kings. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. Kramer, let's go. NFC South.
From the bottom to the top, and of course, let's in case you're an AFC hater, maybe you don't listen to that filthy American Football Conference preview, and you're full blown blue. You love the NFC more than anything. Maybe you don't know that we're adjusting our wins. So do we want to get people up to date? I am still at a situation where I'm. Well, actually, no, that's right. I'm even. I redistributed my wins. Sean, you still have to redistribute 2. You have a
2 wins
surplus of 2 wins.
Okay.
Pretty amazing how we actually keep track of this. Not like the other guys. They just willy nilly throw out those predictions. All right. So again, from the bottom to the top, and this this division, very much one that I feel like there's some very controversial takes, whether you're a Bryce stan or you're like me and into mustache culture, or like Sean and think that the filthy fighting Bruce Arians are going to do anything. That's who we start with.
Yep.
6.5 is the win total. You predicted 8 and 9 and an over. I predicted 6 and 11 and an under. Okay.
No, I mean there was big news from the last preseason game. Ryan Jensen, center for the Tampa Bay Bucks, he is done for the year, and it sounds like unfortunately he's done for his entire career. He was part of the handicap why I liked it, because that offensive line without Jensen last year, he was coming back from an injury, got re-injured, and they said it's so bad he may never play again. So that obviously is really debilitating. But that being said, I still think this division is a bit of a shit show, and the line actually has moved for the Bucks from 8-1 to 10-1. I just think
like
there's,
that.
I think there's, and I don't know how much of it was the Jensen injury, but I'm sure that played a part of it. The fact that it moved from 8-1 to 10-1, I'm back in on that division at 10-1. I just think there is too much talent on this roster, including Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Sean Tucker, Ryan, who you alerted me to is like a deep, maybe best ball guy, maybe even a DFS play, first touchdown.
Maybe Derrick Henry,
first touchdown guy. He's been playing really well. I know
splitting carries with the one. That's an important one to know.
Yeah.
We talked about it early on. It's been real quiet out of Tampa. I mean, honestly, we haven't heard much out of Tampa other than the Baker Mayfield being the starter.
Yep, Baker Mayfield named starter. I'm fine with it. He woke up feeling dangerous, looked pretty sharp last preseason game. Kept feeding Chris Godwin. Mike Evans dealing. It sounded like a banged up groin. If that's a possible injury, they said he should be good to go week 1.
It sounded like it was veteran rest / he had an injury and they're just going to be extra cautious.
So yeah, I still like the Bucks to win the division just because
you're not worried about that. The center is an important position, Sean, is it not?
Yeah, it is. That's why it went from 8-1 to 10-1. It's
how many wins is the center worth?
It's less. It's less that I love the Bucks. I just don't think the Panthers, Falcons, and Saints are that much better than them. I think it's going to be way closer than people think.
I don't think. I mean, certainly the injury makes me feel better about the under. I think as we got through the process, I was finding more and more fun ways to think about what the over could look like. Now, I would say originally what I really liked, and this is one of our, I would say. Every year we have a bet or two that becomes like the bet category of the off season. These division specials.
I'll
just throw the whole bucket in there.
Yes,
but
available on DraftKings.
Specifically, the exacta box that they have in the past. You had to predict the exact order.
Yeah.
they've now kind of flipped it around, and so
because the 3-4 is probably the hardest, or can be, because you're like, all right, these two teams will be good, and then like the 3 and 4 to get that perfect 1, 2, 3, 4 is really hard.
So I still don't mind the angle of Tampa, randomly being good, and I'm high on Atlanta, so I'm kind of cheating here. But my favorite Tampa future, I'm going to juice up that division price and give me a second place out. Give me the Atlanta Tampa exacta box for the division at 13-1 for my my favorite Bucks future. Is that too big?
No, that's perfect. I mean,
which, quick aside, behind the scenes, we were hanging out talking to some of the guys over at VSiN, and they're like, "Hey, you want to get in on some of our fun action that we get into for the weekends with our same game parlays?" And it's just like, oh yeah, let's go. But you want to talk about a 13-1 exacta box?
100% in. Ryan, you mentioned the division specials. I've been all in. There's a bunch of fun ones. I mean, your one for the Falcons, which we'll get to, is amazing.
It's coming up.
But for me, my favorite division special is Chris Godwin, most receiving yards in the division at plus 550. Clearly, we saw in that preseason game, Baker has a good connection with Chris Godwin. Again, Mike Evans getting a little bit up there in age, maybe. Yeah. Again, like all he really has to beat out in my mind is Olave, who I'm also high on, but I love this price at plus 550. Because I think it will be Godwin, maybe Evans, and maybe Olave. But I like at plus 550. I love that. I mean, I do like Olave, receiving yards, touchdowns, whatever. We'll get to that later on. He's only like plus 150 to lead the division. So give me Chris Godwin plus 550. And this, again, I like prop bets like this. If they're good, the Tampa Bay Bucks, it's probably because Chris Godwin's having a bad year. If they're bad, they're going to be playing from behind, and they could rack up a ton of fantasy yards. I mean, you remember that 30 for 30 season that Jameis Winston had, where he threw for 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. They were playing from behind. He turned it over a bunch, stuff that actually ends up being good for fantasy football. And it's not necessarily quarterback dependent. Like if Baker sucks and they bench him, they bring in Kyle Trask, I'm sure he's still going to be getting Godwin a bunch of looks. So I like him. I like him there. Plus 550.
Yeah, I like. I mean, my favorite prop is the Godwin over receptions. You look at it was 100 and change last year. I think 98 the year before that, and now they're offering 80.5. I mean, I think it's fair to think this team will be down, but I don't know if. I mean, Baker's going to sling the rock. This team's going to play like they don't give a fuck, like almost like they have nothing to lose.
Yep.
And again, the power of a bunch of grown men not wanting to be known as Tom Brady's little side bitches. That's strong.
There's something there. There is something there.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
Now, is Baker good enough? That's another question. I don't know.
Well, again, to me, it's less about how awesome Baker is and more just not thinking the rest of the division's good. Like I think the NFC South winner could be 8-9, and that's kind of how I ran it out when we did the picking of the win-loss of the schedule. Again, check out the team previews. Got a bunch, all 32 NFL team previews ready to go. Go back, fire on those episodes. So wait, what was his number at, Ryan? What did you say?
80.5. Okay,
yeah. I mean,
and the reason,
again, it just fits for so many versions of this Bucks team.
I would say the reason too that I like the receptions more than the yards for him.
Okay,
is I do think that Mike Evans will be the guy that is like Godwin is going to work all over the field, but I think it's including kind of the shorter stuff. I think Evans is going to work a little bit more exclusively down the field. So, do I think he maybe has a lower average? Yes.
Do they have division receptions leaders? No. Yeah, because you're right. I might like that better for Godwin.
I mean, I think the theory is the same, but for him, like who's he really competing against? Like to me, no one on the Panthers. You imagine being able to chuck a whole team.
Right. Breaking news.
You changing something? I would even argue you could chuck the Falcons from the receivers in this bet.
I'm gonna go Chris Godwin, most receptions in the league at 65-1.
Oh,
love that.
All right,
because you're talking me into it, and the check down aspect, the easy completions with Baker Mayfield. You made a good case about Evans. Like he might be the more yardage guy, the down the field stuff, the guy who's maybe better at some contested stuff.
Is that a real bet?
Yeah.
I mean,
65-1.
He's probably not going to get the targets, but
I don't know, man. I mean, he's to me, look at some of the guys he's next to price wise. Kyle Pitts, Tony Pollard, Jackson Smith and Jigba, George Kittle. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, I get he's split.
George Kittle is a bad one.
Yeah. I don't know. Jamar Chase is 6-1 and he's also splitting stuff with T Higgins. I mean, again, you would certainly make Jamar Chase the favorite, but at 10x, let's go, baby. Trying to win some cash. Love that bet.
10x multiplier.
And these are on DraftKings. Again, promo code SGP. Any other thoughts on the Bucks, Ryan?
No. Other than like, I think my prediction has them right on the under. I would still take the under on the win total, even though I included them in an exacta box. Again, I think it's fine to even play the division and the under.
No, and
because I don't think they're. I absolutely get why Sean is playing. But he would argue like the reason he's winning the division at 8-9, right? Like
yeah, no, I mean again, I like the division price or the division bet as a bet much better than the over 6.5.
100%.
Because there's a ton of scenarios where they don't get to 7 wins. The scenarios where they win 8, 9, maybe even 10 games are fewer percentage wise, but the price difference to me is that sweet spot. So yeah, I like them to win the division. Look out, Ryan.
The Jensen injury really sucks. All right, next up.
But again, the fact that it went from 8 to 10-1, I think that was all I needed to hear.
Crawling up the win total board, we're at 7.5 now. This one really hasn't changed, other than the juice moved back in the early spring when I got that down on this. One of the first things I bet on, it was 7.5, and I think it was maybe minus 105 to the under. Now it's the other way around, so we're looking at minus 115, minus 120 to the under. Obviously, because we're watching Bryce Young look so tiny out there. 5-12 for both of us. I think we both have
Ryan, and breaking news, I was 6-11. I have since adjusted the sheet to 5-11.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the sheet. The sheet is dynamic, of course.
I updated it. And again, get in on the sheet, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. I updated it because
you did it correctly too. Good. Nice job.
Just watching them in the preseason, realizing they're probably going to start slow. He is a small guy. Like I don't know. Eye test. It didn't feel like a 6-win team just from what I've seen of the preseason. Shout out to the Panthers fans in my mentions, loving everything they're seeing.
Trey Lance fans are Panthers fans too.
Oh, and all the Trey Lance fans, I have not heard from one. I've tagged them. I quote tweeted our bet. I mean, come on, welching on a bet. You're better than that, Trey Lance fans.
All right, so and real quick, let me fire off a preseason take, especially with fantasy football. If you are clipping, all right. So you're only allowed to clip starter highlights from game 2 when starters are playing starters. Agree? Do we agree?
No, because it's been all over the place with when people have been playing their starters.
Fair, but we can't have Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson throwing a nice back shoulder against a guy who's not even going to be in the USFL this year. Much like we can't have Bryce Young. It reminded me a little bit of that Justin Fields highlight from last year, if you remember, where Justin Fields kind of makes a nice like athletic rolling backwards throw, but the guy's wide open and it's underthrown, and it's like, what's the highlight all about? That's the throw to Adam Thielen. Why are we getting excited about this?
Yeah,
because some guy on the sideline is like, dude, he's different. He threw me the ball and it was there when I turned around. It's like, who else did you play with? Like, who else have you played with? I don't get it. I don't see the specialness. I'm not changed. If anything, I would be confident going down because I don't think they have. I think Mingo might be the best playmaker they have on this team, and I don't know if that's saying a lot.
Yeah, again, I still think there's a version where you get the deal done without giving up DJ Moore, and DJ Moore is a guy.
He looks so good for Chicago too.
He's a guy that you need to give a young quarterback weapons like to help him develop. I do think he's going to help Justin Fields. And
Mike, did you see that play he made?
Yeah.
Justin Fields just got him the ball in a little bit of space, and he did the rest.
Yep,
like that's something that Bryce Young doesn't have.
And I didn't give it out on the Panthers team preview, but the more I've thought on this division, give me the Panthers 4th place at plus 255.
Dog.
Really? Is that the price?
Yeah, that feels pretty good to me. Again, obviously I'm higher than market on Carolina. I'm slightly down on Atlanta. Not anything crazy. Not super high like Kramer and the rest of Team Sharp in the NFL community. For me, it leaves Carolina there. So yeah, give me Carolina 4th place plus 255, baby.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have some fun.
I mean, he's a rookie quarterback.
I'm falling off the rails. I do think this is the division you want to grab as much long shot shit as possible, because I think more than any other, and who can forget Parks Frazier is a coach on this team.
No,
his wedding was once officiated by Frank Reich, and remember 77 bullets were shot into his home.
Never again. Go back and listen to the MLDs.
No answers.
Most likely DGen for each team.
But my favorite future for this team is that they are the last winless team.
Okay, that I made that my prop bet.
Oh, interesting. At Atlanta,
because I didn't have any like hard takes. I mean, I think Miles Sanders I gave out on the team preview, most rushing yards 30-1. He's already dealing with some groin stuff.
Oh, man,
but I'm with you on the last winless team, Ryan. Because look at their schedule.
Yeah, so we're at Atlanta, New Orleans at home, at Seattle, Minnesota at home, at Detroit, at Miami into the bye. I mean, which game do they win? They have 4 road games, 2 home games. They come out, they get Houston week 8.
Now
Indy week 9, and Chicago week 10. That's their like win vortex.
Yeah, but the first 6 games, they're only they're only favored once, and it's at home against the Saints on Monday Night Football. That's going to be a tough spot.
And that's not going to be the spread anymore. Like they're not going to be
like I don't think they'll be favored. I think the actual like what the line will be when they play the game. I think the first time they'll be favored is at home against your Houston Texans around week 8. So I think them going 0-6 is very much a possibility.
So, yeah, I mean, again, this under was one of the first things I bet all year, period, because it was this in Indy. Like these, why are we giving these rookies 7.5 win totals? It makes no fucking sense. All right, so as everyone knows, I think CJ Stroud's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
So I don't know if you remember this, but we talked rookie props. First rookie quarterback to be benched. Now that we know that they're all starting, price is still pretty similar. Bryce Young plus 450.
Wow.
Give me that.
I assume who's the favorite? Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson is still the favorite.
Okay.
But now when I look at these situations, I'm actually starting to believe what you were saying in the offseason, that I think the Colts could actually tank hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Whereas I actually think at some point Frank would take Bryce out of the game and put Andy out there. You know what I mean? Like there's some vibes coming out of things that the indie coaches are saying, like about growing pains.
Yeah.
That suggests that no matter what,
they're just going to let Anthony Richardson is like the guy. No one's taking his car keys away.
He won't be benched. He'll be hurt. He'll be hurt.
Yeah. Well, again, now wait, it means it specifically says like bench for poor play.
Actually it says it doesn't clearly say bench for poor play,
but it says like not start and not
start.
But what about due to injury? Because that obviously, I mean, that makes you like Bryce Young even more because he's the tiniest dude of them all.
Yeah.
So
well, and that was part of the handicap. Like, but yeah, seeing him out on a field, I would even another way to play it. And
I would say this too. Also, like as far as
I think actually the onshores market is game started.
Okay.
So that's different. That actually includes injury. And let's update the price because when you include the injury, it's plus 310.
Oh, then love it. If you can get out of this with injury, love it. Yeah, that's a good bet.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. Before we move on to the Atlanta,
wait. So what do you have? Do you have a second prop?
My two bets were
you getting
Panthers.
out of Dodge without a bet?
No, if you're listening, Ryan, my future bet was Panthers 4th place at +255, and I did a team prop bet. Last winless team with the Carolina Panthers.
That's right. You copied mine. I forgot. I forgot you did say that. You're right.
Yes, I know when I'm right. Hey, and I'm right when I'm saying Underdog Fantasy. If you have not signed up for Underdog Fantasy, what are you waiting for? One, Best Ball Mania 4, $15 million up for grabs and prizes. As a guy who was traveling recently with Ryan, these drafts are incredibly fun. Ryan drafted for 24 hours straight and was still drafting. Now, if that is not an endorsement of the product, I don't know what is. The idea that you can draft for 24 hours straight and then also draft for probably, I would say, like 3 hours he probably put in. If you added up all the time, looking at his phone, getting the laptop out, grinding away the slow drafts. And they also have the pick'em, which is super fun, over under on some of your favorite player stat lines there. Go to underdogfantasy.com, use the promo code SGPN, 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, $3 million first place prize. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN.
Well, I'm running out of time, Sean. I'm on the clock. It's a Jalen Hurts team. In honor of you, I'm gonna just randomly throw Musgrave on this team.
Oh, let's do it. Hopefully. Luke. I'm gonna be doing that when he gets 2 touchdowns week 1.
Sean, the crowd isn't booing. They're saying Luke. I assume we're both. Would you say that this is one of your strongest win total predictions, or at least
Carolina
confidence on the bet?
Well, I mean, again, most confident. You got to like Steelers over.
Yes, it's in that same tier.
Titans over.
Oh, you know what, Sean? We got to put a win total tier graphic. This week.
Confidence chart of our win totals.
Yes.
We should rank all 32
is
win
that
totals.
Maybe our final prediction show?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we rank the win totals. Well, because I mean, if you ever done a confidence pool, it's pretty fun. Obviously you have your number one game.
I love this.
You get like 16 points. You're the most confident, and then you're least confident.
Yeah, we'll do that in our fucking playoff picks or whatever.
Okay, sounds good, right?
Maybe some awards. I don't know.
We've so much content. Content train is coming along.
All right, so
Atlanta Falcons.
Your
Falcons.
We have reached the top half of the division, the cream of the crop. 8.5 for my Falcons. This again, I believe, did this start at 7.5? Do you remember? Yep. It did. You predicted 7 and 10, unfortunately, Sean.
Yep.
You're saying under.
Oh, I'm fading that line movement. Love it.
I'm saying over. I got them going 10 and 7. Of course, I love that division future. And Sean, I'll just start right there. That's my favorite Falcons future. They win the division. We're playing into variance, dude. Come on, like the Saints are the you're grasping at straws here with your Bucks.
No,
you think the Saints are any good?
No.
So Falcons.
That's what I'm saying. I do agree that the division is up for grabs. I'd rather take the 10-1. I mean,
you trying to
Baker
make
Mayfield.
It seem like my bet's too small.
Baker Mayfield has won a playoff game, Ryan. And Desmond Ridder, I don't know where they get off not playing Desmond Ridder in the preseason. Like, this dude needs reps.
He's ready.
Is he?
Ask me what I got my Falcons price at.
What did you get your Falcons price at, Ryan?
Would you believe it if I told you I got plus 325? That's how much it's come down. So a lot of people,
I would believe it because everyone's on them.
A lot of people would say can't bet it at this price because that price existed. Disagree. That's actually the price that exists right now. So it's the only price we can talk about.
So for me, Falcons no playoffs.
Oh, Sean
at -125 is my favorite future bet. Fading the Atlanta Falcons. I just can't buy in the narrative of, well, Marcus Mariota is really bad. Now that Desmond Ridder, he has to be better than Marcus Mariota. I don't know if he has to be. I've watched a lot of Desmond Ridder snaps in the preseason. I watched some of his 4 games from last year. 115 pass attempts to me is just not enough for the quarterback. Like, yeah, maybe he makes a small jump up, but I still don't understand where this ceiling is. And I think they have some issues on the defensive side of the field as well. I think the NFC is going to be more competitive than people think. So yeah, give me Falcons no playoffs -125.
All right.
And I'm fading everyone. Feels great.
I mean,
Feels great to be on the sharp side, Ryan.
You kind of do want to fade everyone.
Yeah, everyone's on the Bucks or no, the Falcons.
No, I'm gonna fade everyone in this division. No, is this the division we talk about? We say, if you don't finish over 500, you shouldn't be allowed in the playoffs.
Yes,
a home game.
This is what's gonna happen. It's they'll have that weird Monday night game, and instead of Tom Brady, it'll be Baker Mayfield getting his ass kicked on Monday night in the playoffs.
Fair enough. All right. I mean, do you want to go first? Cause I'm about to give out a banger.
Sure.
It feels like you should go first. This is honestly
Ryan doesn't want to
run.
drop the nuclear bomb.
This is the home run of all the home run.
I'm like the B-32s loosen up the Japanese mainland before Kramer comes in with the nuclear bomb on Hiroshima. For me, I was watching a lot of World War II stuff last night.
Nice.
Bijan Robinson under 1,100.5 rushing yards. For
Sam
me,
Hagen, son of a bitch.
this feels great. And again, I think Bijan. I am worried about injury. If you've seen the clip that's gone viral, and we're wishing injury on people. No, I'm predicting injury for someone. There's a slight difference. I think
It's gonna confuse him so much.
I just don't think he's going. I understand they run the ball a bunch, but they have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Mac Hollins, like Desmond Ridder, future MVP. They're going to be throwing the ball, I think, a little bit more. But really, Tyler Algier is really good. Arthur Smith has gone out of his way to show you, like, we like Tyler Algier. Bijan's going to be used as a weapon. No one says used as a weapon if they're going to give the guy, 290 carries. And there have been a couple rookie running backs throughout the years that have gone over this rushing mark. But it's pretty rare, and it's also where they completely own the backfield. And I just don't think he's going to get all the touches needed to get this. Like, he could have a really good year yardage wise, receiving and rushing, and just not get to this 1,100 yards. It's just way too high.
I will say, Sean, I might have done a little bit of a Tyler Algier deep dive for this bet, and I wonder if I have some concerns about your just conceptually. I like your play, but I wonder if there's not enough cake to go around, because Sean, last year, this Atlanta Falcons team, is a remarkable number. They rushed the ball 559 times. Now that was good for number one in the NFL. As you know, I'm sure, Sean, because Arthur Smith's a mustache guy. But not only that, they were the only team in the NFL that ran the ball more than they passed the ball. And the Bears were the only team with a worse pass rate over expectation. And listen to some of these carry numbers. Tyler Algier, and I'll get to what my bet is in a second, 210. Cordero Patterson, 144.
Yeah, where are all these Cordero Patterson carries going? I think they're gonna I think he's gonna get like 75 carries.
Marcus Mariota, 85. Caleb Huntley, 76. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Avery Williams, 33. Desmond Ridder, 16. Yada yada yada. So let's just say the quarterback still has a couple. There are about 500 carries here to go around amongst the running backs, and my bet is Tyler Algier to lead the NFC South in rushing yards at 65-1. This has to be a mistake. Obviously, no one's gotten down too heavy, although they let the bet slide through. Because how do you offer this price? And I want to pull up the whole market just to highlight how horrible this price is. We're talking about Tyler Algier led the division last year with 1,035 yards. Second place was Deonta Foreman with 914. Alvin Kamara came in third with 897. You know who was in fourth place, Sean? His teammate Cordero Patterson.
That's crazy.
So, like there's a lot to eat here. And when you look at this market and you see, okay, I understand why Bijan's minus 150. He's sexy. He's the rookie. He's so much better than Tyler Algier. Like, what could he do with the same type of workload? Then you have Miles Sanders plus 250. As you mentioned, already dealing with some stretched groin stuff. Then Jamal Williams 10-1. That doesn't even really make sense. it's a three-way committee at best between Kamara, Williams, and maybe even Kendra Miller.
I mean,
then you have Rashad
if you
White.
just price Jamal Williams and Tyler Algier, I would make Tyler Algier the favorite.
Exactly. Then it's Rashad White versus Tyler Algier again. Like Rashad White and Sean Tucker seem like they're going to be splitting some carries. Sean Tucker, by the way, is not even listed in this market. Cowards. Then you have Alvin Kamara at 18-1. Which again, he came in third last year.
Yeah, but he's missing 3 games.
He missed some games, okay, but he's missing games again, and he's got all these other guys to eat up yards. Then you have Chuba Hubbard, 45-1. Like, what are we doing here? Kendra Miller, 45-1. Like, what are we doing? Chase Edmonds, 50-1. He's behind Sean Tucker. Then you have lowly Tyler Algier. At 65.
They think he's like the 3rd string running back or something.
All right. I have a quote for you.
He might be I mean, Arthur Smith hasn't quite said it, but he's essentially the 1st string running
quote. Bijan's going to line up all over the field. He's a lot more like Patterson than he is Tyler. Tyler is a 220-pound bowling ball. And then he later goes on to say, he's a guy who can handle the NFL grind. Quote, a guy who takes care of the football.
Didn't he call him a sledgehammer at one point?
Yeah.
You're not putting the sledgehammer on the sidelines.
All right. So let's just say we give Bijan a healthy dose of carries for a rookie and he gets those 200. Are there not still 200 for Algier? I personally think that Bijan's going to catch the ball. We discussed this. Remember when we talked about Bijan? Let me pull up what that bet was. But when we were discussing the Atlanta Falcons, which it's very fitting how long we're talking about the Falcons right now.
Oh, you're Falcons, Ryan.
But when we talked about the Falcons, one of the bets I gave out was Bijan to lead the rookies in receiving yards at 45-1. The thesis being he's going to catch the ball like Austin Eckler type, 80, 90, 100 times. I think he does that. I don't think he gets the carry. So Tyler Algier 65-1 to lead the division. To repeat as division leader in rushing yards.
I mean, what is he to lead the league? Like I think there's a case.
I'm less likely to do that, but I will pull it.
I mean, that's probably if that's 200-1. That's interesting.
I feel like I'd be more interested to play the touchdowns there because they offer that one 100-1 to lead in touchdowns. Rushing yards, 100-1. So that's like, what are we doing
no
here?
Value. That just shows you how much they fucked that price up.
They don't give a shit about that price.
DraftKings is asleep at the wheel. Promo code SGP. Get in there, people.
All right. So yeah, obviously I'm holding strong on the over here. Did you take any wins away from my Falcons?
Nope. You guys are good.
Nice.
7-10.
Next up, the Saints. Again, very curious when we first got into it in the offseason as to why the Saints were so clearly the favorite of a division that obviously there's reasons why the other teams might be a little bit down, but the spread here between the top team and the bottom team is 3 wins, 9.5 for the Saints at the top. You went 8-9. I was a little higher on them with 9-8. We both leaned under here. I want to say we both kind of like the idea of finding a way to fade the Saints.
Don't worry, Ryan. Derek Carr is here. They're going to be fine.
See those guns,
Ryan. In the last 6 years, how many times has Derek Carr been on a team that's gone over 9.5 wins?
Ooh, one time.
One time. He's 1-5 to the over of 9.5, and that was last year at 10-7.
Oh, what was he?
Or no, sorry, 2 years ago.
I was gonna say last year.
Last year he was 6-9.
He quit.
Yeah, 2 years ago that 10-7 team, which really had no business being that good. But yeah, he's only gone over twice in his career. Again, we know who Derek Carr is. He has.
Well, we know what his brother thinks he is. For sure.
Top. So he had 1 year where he was 12-3 and 1 year 10-7. So like. He's 63-79 as a starter. I just don't get the idea that everything's going to be fixed now that Derek Carr is in the building. My future is just under 9.5 wins. I don't know, like the no playoff price wasn't as good. I do think they're like okay, you know what I mean, and there's certainly some interesting fantasy stuff to get to with them, but yeah.
Ready for this? Number 4, Derek. So this is back in 2018. David Carr, working for the NFL Network, ranking his quarterbacks in the league at the time. Derek Carr, number 4. After all the hype of the offseason, the 2017 Raiders had a down year. Now with a new coaching staff, I believe the Raiders and Derek will get back to 2016 form. I've seen Derek and John Gruden interact, and Derek's game is going to benefit tremendously from that move. With game on the field or off the field. And after watching several practices during OTAs, the offensive skill players really fit Derek's style. Martavis Bryant is perfect for Derek, and Jordy Nelson will be a matchup nightmare as slot receiver against cornerbacks 2s and 3s. Derek had some back issues he's making excuses for Derek. Had some back issues last year, and I think he returned too quickly. Now healthy and able to get through the entire offseason. His mobility is back. This is a complete fluff piece about his brother.
Yep.
This is like you going 14-3, making sure you get the loss total high enough so it looks respectable. He didn't want to put him number 1. So he dropped.
The Eagles were 14-3.
He dropped him to number 4. No, I understand you know, broken clock is right twice a day. All right. Let's go. Saints. You want you want to start? You want me to start? I can tell you what I like. Miss playoffs.
Okay. Yeah, no, I gave out under 9.5.
Oh, okay. I mean, do you like miss playoffs or under 9.5 better?
I literally just said I like under better than miss playoffs. I mean, especially what's the miss playoff price?
-150.
Yeah, I'd rather take the under 9.5 wins because I do think at 9 and 8 maybe they sneak in. I don't know. Under 9.5
sneak in.
Under 9.5 to me feels like a better bet with Derek Carr there.
You could also play the slider.
Okay.
So the under 9.5 is -125. The slider to 8.5 goes up to +140. When we discussed this team too, we did kind of both say there's not a tremendously low floor.
No, yeah, my handicap on them hasn't changed much. Like I think, again, I like the under 9.5. I feel like 7, 8, 9. Maybe there's a world they get to 10, but again, Derek Carr is not a double-digit win starter guy. He just isn't. Not
Derek Carr. It's funny how Derek Carr, wholesome guy, went from Las Vegas to New Orleans to.
Just living in two Sin Cities. My favorite prop bet, Ryan. I've been all over him in fantasy, even though I'm not super high on the Saints as a team. And we've seen Derek Carr not win a lot of games and still have support a number 1 receiver in a big way, like he did last year. And I think he'll do it this year with Chris Olave. I have Chris Olave most receiving yards at 35-1. You can also say Chris Olave most receptions at 35-1. I think
I like that better.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with yards. Just because I think he really, his yards per attempt downfield are really pretty good. Even for a guy like Andy Dalton, not known for like a super deep depth of target. Yeah, I'm on basically any Olave stuff you like, I'm in on. So yeah, Chris Olave most receiving yards is my official play, but any of those Olave positive stuff I'm in on.
What's the price on the receptions? 35-1. Is it the same?
Yes.
35-1.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I would think the receptions would be higher because he definitely. I mean, you're right about the yardage stuff, but he projects to get a tremendous amount of catches, and it's Derek Carr. I guess Derek Carr hasn't been the most proficient throwing it down the field, so that would be, I guess, the counter argument.
It's a good counter, but again, they're in a.
I like it. No, I think do you draft him over Devonta Smith? The people want to know. I think to me it's a no-brainer. He goes over Smith.
Well, he is the number 1 in that offense. That's
precisely why.
So,
but the ADPs are similar.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously I'm high on both, but again, New Orleans, you're playing in a dome. It depends how much you think the Eagles are going to throw this year. Like last year, Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts didn't put up a ton of stats in the fourth quarter because they didn't need to. They were playing from ahead. I don't know what the game script's going to look like with this New Orleans Saints team. Dennis Allen, I just don't really trust their offense a ton. But yeah, the fact that he's the number 1 receiver And I think you could talk yourself into year 1 to year 2. He could make a big jump. Whereas Devonta Smith kind of already made that jump and it's priced in, and he's competing with AJ Brown on the same team.
So his ADP is pretty similar to Calvin Ridley, Devonta Smith, T Higgins, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Adams, and Garrett Wilson. I probably take him over everyone but Devontae Adams. Maybe not Garrett Wilson.
Devontae Adams, again, a ton of weirdness in the Raiders, but I would still take a shot on him in fantasy. Like
he's falling.
He's falling. I think that's falling to crazy.
So today I got him.
They can be bad, and Devontae Adams will still have a huge year.
I had the 4th pick, and I did a Tyreek Hill Devontae Adams team. So that it doesn't seem like he should be falling that far. All right, yeah. I mean. Good luck to the rest of the division. This is our Falcons year.
Ryan is wearing the Falcons
three
jersey,
unders,
completely all in.
3 unders and an over.
Yeah.
Honestly, a couple of my favorite bets of the season in this division, in the Tyler Algier 65-1 most rushing yards in the division, and the Falcons division win, and the loser ass Panthers. That Panthers last winless team is excellent.
Yes,
you have to admit that's an excellent. They like it's very legitimate. You look at the schedule; that they're not winning before the bye week.
The Chris Godwin most receptions prop that I stumbled upon at 65-1. I'm quickly falling in love with.
What were you doing that you stumbled into it?
Well, I was hosting this show, Ryan, where I'm always looking for more. So
you're not really stumbling. You're
more EV, more winning opportunities for the Sports Gambling Podcast listeners.
It's more like you were watching for birds and you saw a really sick bird that you don't always see. But you were looking for birds.
I was looking for like a
you weren't tripping
minus
around.
110 bird, and then this sweet ass 65-1 bird.
You weren't stumbling around drunk in the Las Vegas airport and you spotted Bigfoot. Like that did not happen.
I might have. You never know. Shout out to Bigfoot. Hey, make sure you smash that subscribe button, youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. Toss us a nice rating and review. It's free. It's easy. It's a great way to support the show and do your part in the war against corporate gambling. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We have a ton of college football content coming up, getting you ready for CFB week 1. And of course, wrapping up our division preview series as well. All that and more this week.
And NFL's here.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, fuck shit. I got NFL week 1 bets already. I got DFS lineups.
The National Football League.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Go Falcons.
Kramer, let it ride.